Welcome to the Let's Talk podcast by AFM TV. It's my it's a bit late. It's supposed to drop a couple of days ago, but I've been working. So this is my review of the Liverpool versus Crystal Palace game. I've obviously watched the game, took some notes. This was going to be dropped the day after, but obviously it's been a bit later. So um, it was an interesting game. I felt Liverpool were the better team. From what I put down on my notes, I had Liverpool started well, could easily have been been a goal up inside 2 minutes, just didn't take chances. Looked menacing on top for the first one. Elliott looked really lively. Nunes missed a really good chance after about just over around about 9 minutes. I think if he'd put that away, might have settled him down a little bit. Looked hungry, battling for every ball. I think we controlled majority of the first half. I think Palace obviously scored the goal, but the defending seemed to be good for Palace. They seemed to have positioned themselves very well to defend against what we were trying to do. Liverpool just trying to break them down. They found opportunities, they just didn't take the opportunities they found. I found that to be Liverpool's biggest issue in that game, is they didn't take all the chances that they had. So that's something they're going to have to rectify, especially when they go into Monday's game. I can't believe how we hadn't scored within, I think, the first 15-20 minutes. You know, Salah, wrong side of the post, is the other side of the post, he probably scores. Again, the first half was a bit of a frustrating first half. For all the good play, just couldn't score. And I think Harvey Elliott in the first half was probably the best player on the pitch. I think he dictated play, won every ball, battling for the second balls. Didn't really give Palace much time to get involved. He kind of just tried to dictate passes, moving. He looked really good. He's probably, like I say, he's probably the best player on the pitch. He looked electric. But then, there's a lot of good chances that I think we missed. I think we had like 12 shots on target, 12 shots on the first half, and probably about 4 on target. So again, it's just one of them. From Palace, the defending really well, holding on for probably periods of the game where they dug in and held on. I think they were under the cosh a little bit, but they held on. Zaha was probably their best player. I think Eze played really well as well, but I think Zaha was probably the most likely to do something, which obviously he did score. So he looked live in the first 20 minutes. He had a good pass, but was offside, and that obviously they could have took that chance and might have scored. I put even my notes. I put Zaha was most likely to score, and then just after I writ that down, he went and got that free pass, beat the offside trap against Nat Phillips, which just thinks unfortunately for Nat Phillips, he hasn't much game time, and I just think that really affected him in that game. I just think they were always going to target Trent and Nat Phillips on that side. They were always going to get a bit of joy going down that side, purely because Trent likes to get really far forward and leaves that gap at the back, and Nat Phillips purely has not played. I just don't think he was up to pace with. I mean, obviously Zaha's quite fast, and so is Eze, but I just don't think Nat Phillips was up to pace. If he'd realised, he could have just stepped up like half a yard and he would have been offside. But again, they're lessons that Liverpool are going to have to learn, especially playing these how open we're playing at the moment. But yeah, they looked really dangerous on attack, especially in that first half. I kept seeing little moments where they were digging in, they were sitting behind the ball, letting Liverpool attack, and then suddenly they'd have a little breakout. Sometimes it came to nothing, but the one time that came to some at Zaha, that was a really good finish. People were saying Van Dijk should have just gone and tackled him, but the speed that Van Dijk was going at and Zaha, I agree with what most people have said. I just feel like if you're going to go across to him and then try and tackle him, he's just going to flip it past you, and then you're in no man's land anyway. I think he had to push him wide to make that shot, but he still finished it. It's a very hard shot to finish. So, I mean, I don't know what else he could have done there. He could have tried to tackle him. He might have brought him down, got a penalty, got sent off. Then you're losing your best defender for 3 games. Or there's possible scenarios that could have happened, but it's ifs and buts, and they took that chance. It was a really good finish. It's from the second half notes, I'll just put, will Palace win? Just see Liverpool missing opportunities. Can see Palace winning this. Discipline is really good from them. And I felt the discipline was really good. I thought Anderson did a really good job of winding up Nunes for most of the game. I think at the end of the day, as you're a defender or you're a striker, you want to wind up somebody and get them sent off. And at the end of the day, it doesn't mean you're trying to do it to, whatever. You're trying to gain an advantage. You're trying to wind that player up in so he's off his game. That's basically what he was trying to do, and it worked. I just put second half started sloppy from both sides, with both teams battling well. I thought it was very good battle in midfield. I thought it was very well balanced. I thought everyone was kind of winning balls and starting to get into the game. Both teams giving away a lot of passes also at the same time, whereas we were battling, winning balls back then, little sloppy passes, giving the ball away. Liverpool giving the ball were winning a lot more possession, which I expected. Palace started to come back into the game, look dangerous on the attack, which is nothing new because they've got the players and the speed. They've got Eze who can do a lot of skills. Zaha's trickery and got speed and can finish. So, and then it got to the Núñez incident. It's just naive. As soon as you raise your head to anybody, I think Anderson sold it more. I know it's still a red card. He still sold it, but I think Anderson was winding him up in his ear all game, and Núñez just snapped, which you can't do that in the Premier League because you end up getting sent off every couple of weeks because teams are going to know that that's his Achilles heel. You can just go and attack him every week and he'll get sent off. So I just felt Núñez was a bit of showing a bit of inexperience that he bit so hard that he had two headbutts at him. He threw his head back at him and missed. Then Anderson points the finger and then pushes him, and then he sort of butts him. But it's not really a full on headbutt. He's just gotten a bit too over aggressive, and he knows what he's done wrong. It's stupid, and he's got himself sent off. And Anderson's mission is basically what he's achieved is getting him sent off. He's done it. I don't condone. I just say, out of context, I don't condone all the people sending him death threats. I just think there's no need for it. It's absolutely stupid. Yeah, he's done what he's done. Who cares? It's a game of football. You don't get to send people death threats and stuff like that. So please don't do that kind of stuff. It shouldn't matter what team you support, whatever you're doing. You should not be sending death threats to people. It's ridiculous. It's bad, and especially if you're, you shouldn't be allowed to follow any team if you think that death threats are a way to fans. Don't, players, managers, owners. None of them condone that, especially people watching. We watch sport for enjoyment, regardless if we lose or win. You shouldn't be sending death threats to people. It's ridiculous. So you should cut that out. Stop it. It's embarrassing. But anyway, back to the rest of the game. I thought we kind of looked really good with 10 men. I thought I kind of had a feeling Palace were going to try and set in and just really not go for it and just counter. But then Diaz come up with some absolute magicianry. That was a fantastic goal. He looked off balance when he hit that shot, but he still managed to find a corner. It was a really good finish. And then, we started to kick on with the 10 men, and I thought we might get the second goal, but again, it just didn't come. But 1-1 after two games, both drawing 1-1, it doesn't look really good. But at the end of the day, with the Fulham game, we deserved to lose, and the Palace game, we deserved to win. But we were down to 10 men and 1-0 down. So you kind of, the point is better than no points. And yeah, we've got Man United next, so that's a game where we now have to put that right. But again, like I said, I keep putting the word devastating on the counter attack because Palace just were devastating. Every time they got broke, they had the freedom to break. Obviously, later the game goes on, they look more tired, so that obviously didn't happen as much. But for the first 65-70 minutes, they looked really good on the counter. And then put down here, it'd be an intriguing last minutes. Will there be a winner? Elliott came off for Carvalho. Carvalho looked good when he came on, just trying to get him to the game. There's a good bit of back and forth between the teams in the last 10 minutes. Refs letting a lot of bad challenges go, a lot of niggly challenges go. And I thought, considering he was booking players for other things, I thought he let a lot of things go, which I kind of found a bit weird. There was quite a lot of bookings in this game. It was quite a lot of yellow cards, and then obviously the red card. There was quite a lot. Salah had a really great effort that went wide within the last 4 minutes. Carvalho with a volley just wide, so it was close. 5 minutes injury time. You can see it staying 1-1, and bookings. And I put obviously the last thing before I put the result was bookings galore, which it was. It was just a lot of crazy bookings, yellow cards. I think there was about 10 cards altogether with the red card included. In terms of there's probably about 4 or 5 yellow cards on each team, I think. So it was quite a highly yellow carded game, really. But it was an enjoyable game to watch, a frustrating one at the same time, because I thought, we took some of them chances in the first half. The Núñez situation might not happen. It might have happened again. But they're the games we're going to come up against. And I haven't really waded in on Liverpool's transfer situation yet, but I generally feel that Liverpool need to go and get a couple more players. I think with the injuries we've got, I think we, defending wise, and now the Naby Keita situation coming out saying that he's not happy and he won't renew his contract. Again, this situation is a bit bizarre for me, that Keita has been injured a lot. He's not lived up to the price tag that we paid for him, and he's the one complaining, saying that he doesn't feel that he's getting enough game time, but he's not been good enough to get enough game time, and that's the fact of the matter, and that's the truth. If you want to break into that midfield, you need to be electric. You need to offer something different. You need to show the manager that you deserve to be there, and I don't think he's done that. Speaking to somebody yesterday at work, saying that I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool could try and offload him in this window, possibly do a swap deal with maybe Bellingham. I don't know if Liverpool will go in for Bellingham. I don't know if Dortmund were prepared to sell him. But if Liverpool could get that 30 million for Keita and take that off the Bellingham deal, maybe he'll go to Dortmund. I think that would be a really good bit of business. But again, that's ifs and buts. There's also the Gavi situation at Barcelona, that he hasn't signed a new contract yet, and he is apparently got a 50 million euro tag. So again, it's another player that you could get in. I just feel that midfield area is going to be the questionable area, especially we've got 4 or 5 players injured, and now Nunes is missing as well. I just think the United game coming up Monday, we kind of need a win. I think it's a bigger game for United than it is for Liverpool. I think Liverpool at this moment in time are probably not even thinking about the title, but again, you're 4 points behind City with 2 games played, who City go to Newcastle, and we've got United on Monday, so that everybody plays before us, so that kind of is a good incentive. If Newcastle could potentially take something from City, which I don't think they will, if they get a point, that's 5. City will go on to 7 points. If Liverpool could win, they'll go on to 5. So then it's only a 2-point gap. So it's not massive. Still early days, but yeah, I still think with the transfer situation, you've got 2 and a bit weeks to go and put that right. I think you need to go and get a couple more players in. As much as Klopp doesn't want to, I feel you've got no choice. I think Keita needs to be offloaded. You don't want him going free, signing a pre-contract for free in January. You'd rather get 20, 30 million for him now, get rid of him, and then bring somebody else in as quickly as you can to fit into that squad. There's plenty of good players that Klopp's probably looking at. He's probably just not trying to stir anything up with the fans and the media, because obviously it gets over-escalated, the price goes up, and then you've got that problem. So, but yeah, that's just my take on the game, and just obviously with the Nunes sending off and now the Keita situation. I'll be doing my next video that will drop, will be my predictions, and that's tomorrow. I've just uploaded a short for my game week 2 predictions versus results, so basically what I predicted and what the outcomes were. You can see that it's in my short, so don't forget to check that out. Please like and subscribe. Obviously this channel's only just started, so I've got a lot of work to do to get it up to where I want it to be, to get the people watching. Obviously feedback helps, so please, negative, positive, give me your feedback. Let me know what you think I should change, or it's a growing thing for me. This is new, all new, growing. I've got my own other channel, and that's basically just for Pokemon unboxing and such, but you're welcome to check that out. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be uploading tomorrow, so keep your eye out for that one. Peace.